अल्कोहल पाया जाता तो इसमें लिखा होता कि केमिकल वहाँ पर जो है अल्कोहल मिला है। अगर उसमें स्टमक में वो ये कह रहे हैं सिर्फ फूड पार्टिकल मिला है, मतलब कि अल्कोहल कहीं से कहीं तक नहीं था।
मैं नहीं जानती निधि को।
आप निधि को जानती नहीं है? उससे पहले कभी कोई मुलाकात नहीं हुई? मैंने घर पे आए थे तो लेके गए।
मैंने नहीं देखा निधि को।
ये सारा प्लान उस निधि का है। पुलिस प्रशासन उससे सख्ताई से पूछे कि क्या कर रही है, क्यों कर रही है।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. The twists and turns continue in the Delhi hit and drag case. CNN News 18 has accessed the autopsy report, which states that Anjali's brain matter was missing and she suffered multiple injuries on being dragged by that Maruti Baleno. Delhi police question Anjali's friend Nidhi at her residence because her version of events are not adding up and are being contradicted by Anjali's family, as well as the emergence of the new CCTV footage, which clearly disrupts the timeline which is being put forward by Nidhi, where she is seen reaching her residence much earlier than she claimed. While the post-mortem report has ruled out sexual assault, an FSL team inspected the car that crushed Anjali. Meanwhile, more and more questions are being raised against the police, given the extensive security covered on New Year's Day. Remember, Anjali's body was dragged for 10 to 12 kilometers after the crash. 5 suspects are in police custody, but given the gruesome nature of this crime, are the present charges of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, causing death by negligence and criminal conspiracy enough? The family wants Anjali's death to be treated as the rarest of a rare case, calling for the death penalty against the 5 accused. But the big question that emerges is, from friends, bystanders to the police, did the entire system fail and betray Anjali?
Delhi's hit-and-run case is getting murkier. A new CCTV footage has emerged which has given a stunning twist to the case. These visuals are from outside Nidhi's residence. The time on the CCTV footage shows 1:37 a.m. But according to the police, Anjali's accident took place between 2 and 3 a.m. Not only this, Nidhi claimed on Tuesday that her phone was broken after the accident.
मेरा उस दौरान फोन भी टूट गया था। फोन टूटने पर मैं बहुत होपलेस हो गई थी।
But in the CCTV, a purported phone can be seen in her hands. One of Nidhi's neighbors has even claimed that Nidhi had asked for a C-type phone charger at 2:30 a.m.
उसने मेरे से बोला, निशान तेरे पास C-type चार्जर है? तो मैंने बोला हाँ मेरे पास हैगा। तो उन्होंने मेरे को अपना फोन दिया, मैंने चार्जिंग पे लगा दिया उसका फोन।
Anjali's autopsy report is also out. Anjali's family claims that alcohol traces were not found in her body and hence Nidhi's claims are baseless.
अल्कोहल पाया जाता तो इसमें लिखा होता कि केमिकल वहाँ पर जो है अल्कोहल मिला है। अगर उसमें स्टमक में वो ये कह रहे हैं सिर्फ फूड पार्टिकल मिला है, मतलब कि अल्कोहल कहीं से कहीं तक नहीं था।
Anjali's family refuted all claims made by Nidhi. Her mother claims Anjali never consumed alcohol. Her uncle has even asked the Delhi police to probe all the allegations leveled by Nidhi.
मैंने नहीं देखा निधि को। हमारे घर पे तो कभी नहीं पी और नहीं कभी पी के आती थी ये वो।
हम पुलिस से चाहते हैं इससे सख्ताई से पैसा है। हमारे को ये मर्डर के धारा लगवानी है 302 और ये मर्डर ही हुआ है। इसमें इन्वॉल्व जरूर निधि है।
Nidhi's latest CCTV has opened up a Pandora's box. The latest evidence in the case contradicts every claim Nidhi has made. So the biggest question here arises, is Nidhi's version reliable?
If you look at the sequence of events or the timeline that is being discussed by Nidhi herself, it certainly doesn't add up and she is constantly contradicting herself. There are several CCTV footage that has come out in the public domain, and this one, just look at it. 2:05 a.m. Both women, Nidhi and a friend Anjali, can be seen on the scooty. You can see Anjali is the one who's driving this scooty. And 2:05 is the time that Baleno comes from the other side of the road. And then minutes later, you can also see a PCR van crossing the scene of the crash. So the question is, where were the cops? When they are crossing the scene of crime multiple times, Why did they not sense something going horribly wrong? That a girl was being dragged for 10 to 12 kilometers. The big question that the police is now facing is that did the police not see the mangled scooty? Why did the police only respond after the third PCR call? What about the first and the second? Why did it all go unanswered? And why didn't the police corroborate eyewitness statements? The police is facing multiple questions, but certainly that is being interrogated now by the police themselves. In fact, a piece of breaking news coming in now. Top police sources are saying that there have been lapses by the cops on duty on that night. Admission 1 by top Delhi police sources that there are lapses by cops that were deployed at pickets. Admission 2, there were lapses on part of the PCR team. Remember, the eyewitnesses have said that there were 3 PCR vans that crossed this Maruti Baleno while the body was being dragged. Admission 3, there were lapses in monitoring surveillance feed. And the Delhi police sources are also saying there are clear systemic problems with the manner in which the PCRs are functioning. Had the police responded on time, perhaps Anjali would have been alive today. Had the police responded to the very first PCR call, perhaps she would have survived. Another admission by the Delhi police sources is that the search operations only took place after the third call. Why did they overlook the first and the second call? Remember, there has been a team that has been set up under Special CP Anjali Singh, who's looking into all those lapses that have been there on the part of the Delhi police. Nikhil Lakhwani is joining me live. Nikhil, so admission coming in clearly that there have been problems as far as Delhi police's own role is concerned. Will there be actions against those cops?
Which is coming out from the Delhi police. If you remember, the Home Ministry sought a detailed report from the Delhi police as to what exactly transpired on the intervening night of 31st of December and 1st of January. And a 3-member committee was formed, which was headed over by the Special Commissioner of the Delhi Police, Anjali Singh. So the detailed report is out, and we have been given the information that some of the lapses have been reported from the Delhi Police's side on the intervening night that we are talking about. And speaking of the lapses, there is no coordination between the PCR vans, which has been reported. Also, the command center, the control room of the CCTV cameras which have been installed in view of the safety and security in the national capital, they were also not functioning properly, although they were active. But despite seeing that this is the kind of incident which has, which was being underway, which was underway in the national capital on 31st night, despite that particular thing, nobody in the control room took cognizance on the same. So on one side, the lapses are there. On the PCR side, no coordination was reported, the control room as well. But apart from it, we will see in a day or two some of the further inquiry that will take place in the matter, because a designation needs to be held responsible over the lapses which has now happened in the outer district of the national
Will
capital.
heads roll? That is the question that we ask. Will action be taken against all those cops against whom there are evident lapses that they did not do their part? They could have all acted and saved this young girl. Nidhi is one person whose also her versions are full of contradictions. Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us. While we continue to put the spotlight on the role of the cops, the lapses that have been there on the part of the Delhi police, but there are also questions being raised against Nidhi's version of events, the supposed friend of Anjali, as the contradictions are continuing after Anjali's family has spoken out as well. Remember, this girl surfaced after 48 hours and she said that Anjali was being dragged by the car. The family of Anjali is saying, where was Nidhi for the last 2 days? A valid question to ask. Nidhi says that Anjali was drunk. She was in an inebriated state. The family is in fact saying that the post-mortem report has not talked about traces of alcohol in her body. Then why is Nidhi building this entire story of Anjali being someone who used to drink, and she was drunk even that night. There is another contradiction. Nidhi says she reached home after 2:30 a.m. But CCTV footage is clearly showing that she reached her home much earlier, just minutes after this accident actually. Nidhi in fact has herself said that she was in a state of shock and that her phone was broken in that accident. But the family says she cannot be trusted, adding that the Delhi police is diluting this case. Now Nidhi's stand is being questioned repeatedly and she is being seen as perhaps someone who is being tutored by the cops. Let me take those questions to the family friend who has addressed the press conference earlier today. Bhupendra Chauresia is joining us live. भूपेंद्र जी, आपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया अंजलि के परिवार के साथ. आपने ये साफ तौर पे कहा है कि निधि ने जो भी आरोप लगाए हैं कि अंजलि शराब पी हुई थी उस रात, वो सब बिल्कुल गलत है. अभी तक विसेरा रिपोर्ट सामने नहीं आया है, तो आपने किस बेसिस पर यह कहा है कि अल्कोहल ट्रेसेस नहीं है?
मैम देखिए, जो प्राइमरी पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट आई है उसमें जब एब्डोमेन की बात आई है तो उसमें क्लियरली लिखा हुआ है क्या स्मॉल पीसेस ऑफ फूड पार्टिकल्स वहां पर मिले हैं. किसी भी तरीके का कोई लिक्विड या कोई अल्कोहल या कोई केमिकल कंपोजिशन वहां नहीं मिला है. इसी के बेस पे मैंने कहा है कि किसी तरीके का कोई अल्कोहल इंटॉक्सिकेशन या अल्कोहल नहीं लिया गया था. उसकी मदर से भी मैंने बात की, उनकी मदर ने भी मीडिया को भी यही बताया कि वो किसी तरीके से कोई अल्कोहल का ऐसा होता है ना, एक हैबिट होती है, या कभी घर पे अल्कोहल पी के, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. निधि ने जो किया है मैम वो एक स्टंट है. वो पूरे के पूरे ये जो मामला है ये पांचों अक्यूज्ड को बचाने के लिए सडनली वो आई है और जो भी वो कह रही है मैम, मुझे उसकी कोई भी बात पे भरोसा नहीं है.
आप इसको स्टंट क्यों कहते हैं? और आपका ये भी आरोप लग रहा है कि 5 आरोपियों को बचाने के लिए आई हैं. किस बेसिस पे आप ये कह रहे हैं?
मैम मुझे एक बात बताइए, अगर नैतिकता के आधार पे 2 लोग एक ही गाड़ी में थे और एक्सीडेंट होता है तो कैसे पॉसिबल है कि एक की मौत हो जाती है इतनी दर्दनीय और एक आराम से मिसेज इंडिया की तरह गायब हो जाता है और सडनली 2 दिन 3 दिन बाद आता है. अगर कोई सच्चा दोस्त होता तो वो परिवार से मिलता, परिवार को बताता ऐसी घटना हो गई है, या 100 नंबर पे कॉल करता. वो सडनली पुलिस के पास पहुंचती है और मजिस्ट्रेट के पास जाके अपना बयान दर्ज कराती है. ये टोटल स्टंट है. परिवार ने मुझे बताया कि वो निधि नाम की किसी भी दोस्त को नहीं जानते और ना कभी निधि नाम की कोई भी लड़की अंजलि के साथ घर पे आई है.
तो ये साजिश किसकी है? आपको क्या लगता है, अगर पुलिस के लैप्सेस हैं तो ये क्यों बोल रही है जो उसने बोला है?
मैम देखिए, जैसे दिल्ली पुलिस का जो 1 तारीख को बयान आता है साउथ डीसीपी हरिंदर जी का कि प्राइमर फेसिया में ये हमें सिर्फ एक एक्सीडेंट लग रहा है, वो बयान देख के मैं हिल गया था कि कैसे बिना पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट के डीसीपी रैंक का बंदा ये कह सकता है कि ये एक्सीडेंट है. बट 2 जनवरी को जब मैं परिवार के साथ सुल्तानपुरी पुलिस स्टेशन गया, एसएचओ साहब ने हमें कोऑपरेट किया. हमने 4-5 पॉइंट की मांग की थी कि एक तो पोस्टमार्टम की प्रॉपर रिकॉर्डिंग हो, एक जो सदस्य है वो शामिल हो. मैं पूरे पोस्टमार्टम के दौरान शामिल था. हमने ये भी कहा था कि अंजलि की कॉल डिटेल्स निकाली जाए, 5 अक्यूज की कॉल डिटेल्स निकाली जाए, और जब तक हमें प्राइमरी पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट नहीं मिलेगी हम बॉडी का क्रिमेशन नहीं करेंगे. हम अपनी सारी चीजों पे स्टैंड कर रहे हैं. 2 दिन जो दिल्ली पुलिस का एफर्ट है उसको मैं अप्रिशिएट करूंगा.
बहुत सारे लोग ये भी सवाल उठा रहे हैं कि आप ने परिवार के साथ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया, आप अंजलि के परिवार के साथ खड़े हैं, आप इनको कैसे जानते हैं? आप एक डॉक्टर भी हैं, आपका इस परिवार के साथ क्या रिलेशनशिप है?
जी मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, जब मैं सबसे पहले मीडिया का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं, आप लोगों ने इस न्यूज़ को उठाया 1 तारीख को. मैम 1 तारीख को मैं भी दिल्ली के एक आम नागरिक की तरह अपने ड्राइंग रूम में बैठ के न्यू ईयर एंजॉय कर रहा था. जब मैंने न्यूज़ देखा कि एक बच्ची के साथ 13 किलोमीटर का ये घातक कर्म हुआ है और वो घर में एक लौती फाइनेंशियल सपोर्टर थी। उसकी मदर की दोनों किडनियां फेल हैं, घर में 2 छोटे छोटे भाई हैं। तो ये न्यूज़ देखने के बाद मैं खुद अपने दोस्त के साथ सुल्तानपुरी पुलिस स्टेशन पहुंचता हूं। पुलिस से पूछता हूं क्या आप मुझे इस बच्ची के घर का एड्रेस देंगे। पुलिस मुझसे नहीं मिलती है। फिर वहां मुझे एक मीडिया कर्मी मिलते हैं जो मुझे उसके मामा के घर पहुंचाते हैं। जब मैं मामा के घर पहुंचता हूं तो मैं उनकी मां से मिलता हूं, उनके पैरों को छूता हूं और उन्हें इस बात का आश्वासन देता हूं कि माता जी आप बिल्कुल बेफिक्र रहें, आपकी बेटी को तो हम वापस नहीं ला सकते, बट किसी भी तरीके की फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन अगर होती है तो मैं आपका हेल्प करूंगा, आपका किडनी का भी जो इलाज है वो भी हम करेंगे। इस तरीके से परिवार मेरे से जुड़ा। परिवार बहुत डरा हुआ था मैडम। परिवार पुलिस तक के पास नहीं जाना चाहता था। उनको यह लग रहा था कि कहीं पुलिस स्टेशन में जबरदस्ती कोई उनसे सिग्नेचर नहीं करवा लिए जाए, कहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो। तो मैं मीडिया के माध्यम से ये क्लियर करना चाहता हूं कि मेरा इनसे कोई पुराना संबंध नहीं है। नैतिकता के आधार पर मैं इनसे जुड़ा हुआ हूं।
ओके। भूपेन जी, मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे ये है कि परिवार में जो माता जी हैं अंजलि की, उनका साफ तौर पे ये कहना है कि नोबडी न्यू निधि, मतलब परिवार का कोई भी सदस्य निधि को नहीं जानता, निधि कभी उनके घर नहीं आई है। तो अगर कोई इक्वेशन नहीं था तो वो उस रात उनके साथ क्या कर रही थी? वो दोनों साथ में क्यों थी?
नहीं मैम, देखिए मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि वो, देखिए दोस्त जो है 3-4 दिन पहले मिलने वाला इंसान भी हमारा दोस्त हो सकता है। और अगर दोस्त होती तो कैसे अपनी दोस्त को मौत के ऐसे तांडव में छोड़ के जाती? मैडम मुझे बताइए ये कैसी दोस्ती है? दोस्ती तो होती है जो जीने मरने तक की होती है। मैम आप ही मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए कि अगर वो कहती है कि मैं अंजलि की दोस्त हूं तो कैसे इतनी बर्बरता की मौत वो अपनी आंखों से देखती रही? अगर वो ये कहती है कि मेरे सामने उस गाड़ी ने उसको आगे किया पीछे किया, तो क्या वो पीसीआर को कॉल नहीं कर सकती थी? तो मैं एक चीज इसमें ऐड करता हूं, अंजलि अकेली थी। किसी भी सीसीटीवी फुटेज में ऐसा नहीं दिखाया जा रहा कि वो लोग गाड़ी पे, वो 1-1:30 बजे होटल की फुटेज के बाद साथ में कहीं पर है। मैं देख रहा हूं कुछ फुटेज में निधि भगती हुई दिख रही है। वो बहुत मतलब परेशान सी थी। अगर मिस्टर इंडिया का कभी सीक्वल बनेगा अनिल कपूर का, तो उसमें जो है निधि को हीरोइन लिया जाए और वो पिक्चर जो है फ्लॉप होगी, क्योंकि ये बिल्कुल कभी कभी अवतार ले रही है। ये 2 बजे की फुटेज में नहीं दिख रही है जब अकेली अंजलि उस कंजरवाला रोड पे निकलती है और ये कहती है सडनली जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो वो अपेयर हो गई। तो मैडम ये कैसी मिसेज इंडिया है? कभी आ रही है कभी जा रही है। तो मैं निधि के सारे बयानों को बेबुनियाद बताता हूं और मैं मीडिया से कहूंगा आप जाके उससे मिलिए, देखिए उसको कहां चोट आई है, कैसी चोट आई है। एक चोट में हमारी अंजलि 13 किलोमीटर में इतनी दर्दनाक मौत का शिकार होती है और उसी गाड़ी में जो दूसरी सहेली है उसे एक चिंटी भर की भी खरोच नहीं आती। मैम ये एक पिक्चर की स्टोरी मुझे लगती है। अब मुझे ये लगता है दिल्ली पुलिस का तो इसमें कोई लेना देना नहीं है, पर ये 5 अक्यूज्ड के शायद फैमिली मेंबर कुछ ऐसी स्टोरी बना के, क्योंकि अगर वो रियल में उसकी फ्रेंड होती तो वो पुलिस को संपर्क करने से पहले परिवार को संपर्क करती, परिवार से माफी मांगती और कहती कि मेरे होते हुए मैं अपनी सहेली को नहीं बचा पाई। मैडम कहां थी वो? 48 आवर्स 72 आवर्स वो कहां थी? सडनली हमें मीडिया के थ्रू पता चलता है कि वो पुलिस स्टेशन पहुंच गई, मजिस्ट्रेट ने उसके बयान दर्ज करवा लिए। दिस इज ऑल अ स्टंट, पूरे केस को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए।
Those are strong charges that you're leveling. Thank you so much for joining us, Bhupen Chaurasia, the family friend of Anjali, who says that this is clearly some kind of conspiracy and, if anything, a stunt by this eyewitness called Nidhi. Let me bring in my guests. Anuja Kapoor, spokesperson of the BJP. Abhinandita Mathur is Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. We have Dr. Vikram Singh, former IPS officer, and Dr. Mahabalesh Shetty is forensic expert. Dr. Vikram Singh, the friend's version clearly cannot be taken on face value. It's full of contradictions. Then what exactly are the cops trying to build with her statement being recorded under 164 of CRPC?
Maria, it has come as a surprise to me that they are recording the statement under 164 CRPC unless they want to piece the various pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. As Bhupenji has said, and you also said, I have my own reservations into what Nidhi has said. Multiple contradictions. One, about her movement, the other who was riding the pillion and who was riding, and the point of altercation. Number three, the most important, that she could not make a call as a mobile was broken. It is now on record that yes, the mobile phone was with her and she charged it before entering her own home. And today it is not impossible to get the mobile phone of a neighbor or of your parent. Everybody has a mobile phone. And then to say that Anjali was inebriated because no alcohol was found. Viscera, of course, has to be examined, but the stomach has no evidence of alcohol.
Okay.
Then with these multiple contradictions, I would have been very satisfied if the statement was confirmed and corroborated, evaluated before 164.
So would you say that this witness is a suspect?
I would certainly say this witness is suspect. And this, again, when you are caught on the wrong foot, you continue to make the mistakes same. 164 comes when you are sure that the statement will be of help during the course of investigation, getting to the truth. Relying too heavily on Nidhi and getting the statement recorded perhaps is a little too premature, and perhaps backing the wrong horse for a wrong purpose and for the wrong intent. I don't think it will serve any purpose in the investigation.
So you are saying that this is investigation going in a wrong direction if this particular witness's statement is recorded under 164 CRPC. So what the case begins in the Delhi police, Vikram Singh. First they go with hit and run theory, then they go ahead with culpable homicide not amounting to murder, because they certainly feel that this was just an accident. But what is evidently becoming clear, that the 5 accused, and I'll ask the producer to put those images of the 5 accused, these are the men who killed a 20-year-old. This is a rarest of the rare crime. Let's look at those images. Those 5 accused knew that there was a body that was stuck under that vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
So then is the Delhi police, then have they come to the conclusion and they are looking for evidence to piece together their own theory?
I would suppose so, that once you start on a wrong premise, then you go up the wrong way. 164, so I would like to understand in what way is it going to help the investigation when there are multiple contradictions. First, I would have been very happy if the contradictions had been resolved. The contradiction not being resolved, recorded in 164 CRPC. Do you mean to say for a moment that you are trying to charge her for perjury or lying under 164 CRPC? But that is a far cry. Your prime concern today is to get to the truth, get to the real villains, and piece the evidence. Have you matched the mobile phone records of Nidhi, Anjali, and these 5? Okay. And if you have not, that is the most important part of the investigation that will tell you the truth.
Okay, Anuja Kapoor, is Nidhi then a convenient eyewitness for the Delhi police? Because if anything, Delhi police is only accepting to the lapses that night.
I really don't know what you are trying to say. Are you trying to put some kind of a piece in my mouth and you're trying to put it through? First of all, I am a criminal psychologist and an advocate. I'm not a police officer, and Vikramji is there. So by asking this, I think I cannot give you any kind of answer to it, that is it a convenient or not. I'm sorry. I think Delhi police is the police who has been solving many cases. So I don't know, how do you, is there a judgment in this? Has it, the case has come to an end? It's very sorry figure, just
yes,
for
it's a
your
sorry
own
state
self,
of affairs as far as the
not...
Delhi police is concerned. So that's what I'm also saying. It's a sorry state of affairs, because the Aam Aadmi Party, your political opponents, are saying that if anything, that this is a witness who has been propped up to protect the accused.
You know what? It's better you don't talk about Aam Aadmi Party, because Aam Aadmi Party was the only party who has given the liquor booths out here. So let's not get into the cozy affair with Aam Aadmi Party.
No, but liquor booth का कहाँ से सवाल आ गया अंजलि? आपसे मैं सवाल पूछ रही हूँ, Delhi police को आप सवाल नहीं पूछ रही हैं. You are not questioning the role of Delhi police. Instead, you are bringing in liquor gate. How does that solve your argument?
Why you are so agitated? Who said that we have not done it? Hasn't Amit Shah ji inquired? Who's the special commissioner? Kamal kar rahe hain. So you are asking
so answer that. Answer it rather than making it about you being a criminal psychologist or being something else. Okay, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Anuja, I have got your answer from you, please. Miss Mathur, the question here is of several parts of that night working against this girl, including the streets not being well lit. 15 lakh cameras were supposed to be installed. Did the Aam Aadmi Party do its part? We are questioning the Delhi police, so you cannot say that we are not doing our part as journalists. We are questioning all the authorities in this case. What about your government? What about the Delhi government?
I think that you're doing a great job. I think actually everybody in the media is right now doing a great job asking the right questions. I am ashamed of the kind of dialogue that the BJP spokesperson is trying to have here. Some things are beyond politicking, and having said that, I think it is the responsibility of all political parties to question each other, because ultimately the buck here stops on the condition of law and order. I take full responsibility that, we have to, Delhi government is committed to do whatever it needs to do to, bring justice to this girl, also to ensure that there is, we are better equipped in terms of lighting or CCTV cameras and so on and so forth. But I think the main problem here is of accountability. And unless and until we hold somebody accountable, and not pawns, not some, junior officer or not some, but actually people who are responsible for it. Why I say this is that in the current scenario, for example, if the lieutenant governor or the home minister or the center is responsible for policing, then obviously these are the people we will be asking questions to. And similarly, you've rightly asked us about, illumination in the city or CCTV cameras. And it is our mandate to do that. But the problem, the unique, unfortunate problem in Delhi is that, there is an elected government. It's supposed to do its work. It's trying its best to. And on the other hand, we have the BJP, that constantly interferes via the LG in stopping work, in stalling the work of CCTV cameras. Anyway, I will come to that later.
Respond to this. I'll move on to another panelist. Anuja, respond to the charge by Aam Aadmi Party.
Can I just finish my point?
The
Maria,
person
can I
is
please
problem.
quickly finish my point?
No, you have said. You have spoken.
Just
yes.
wait on now. Now, just wait. Now, when they are trying to put pressure on LG Sahab was there on 31st night, and he was already looking into the Najafgarh drainage system. Where were Arvind Kejriwal? They have to ask this.
Exactly. That is not his mandate. That is what I'm doing. That the Constitution and the Supreme Court have very clearly actually separated the responsibilities of the LG and elected government. So here is an LG who wants to photograph with
you have to on our work. Are you Anuja Kapoor? If not, then
look, if you are going to, I'm sorry,
Abhinandita, the question is that the people of Delhi are watching this and they are wondering that because no accountability is going to be fixed with this kind of back and forth between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, how many more such incidents will happen in future? That is the scary part staring at us.
Is there any confusion about who holds law and order in the city right now?
No, there's no confusion, but that is what I'm asking. Will accountability be fixed?
Absolutely.
Anuja Kapoor. Anuja Kapoor, okay. Abhinandita, you have made your point. Let Anuja speak.
Yes, and thank you so much. And please moderate so that the other person should not come and jump in between. The problem which the facing is that we have already said it categorically, that Amit Shah ji is already doing his part. He is taking care of this. And LG Saab has also said that either this person has a Bharatiya Janata Party affiliation or not, any accused in this scenario will not be spared. And this is what come may. And BJP stands with the victim. I do not know why they feel or anybody else feels that BJP is the one who is playing a different role in this or villain role. No, we are not. We have already said, yes, there were lapses. We are a part of it. There were lapses.
Yes, so Abhinandita, if Anuja is saying that she is standing with Anjali's family, just as you and I, then why are you making it about politics?
2-3 things to keep in mind here. Number one, that the buck stops at law and order here, and which is why we are questioning the people in power who are responsible for it. Number two, the accused. Number two, एक मिनट अनुजा जी, एक सेकंड रुकिए. नंबर दो बात ये है अनुजा जी. अरे अनुजा जी,
Punjab here in Delhi police. And you please don't tell me what is law and order. Look at the Punjab and then you come back and tell us. You have in Punjab the law and order in your hands. Look at the Khalistani, what you have done. Look at your drug addiction. Look at your liquor. Look at the farmers who are agitating on the road. So don't you tell me what you are doing or not you're doing. We are the people of Delhi, and the Delhi police is reasonable enough. They will do what they have to do.
Okay.
What come may to
Okay, Dr. Mahabalesh Shetty. Dr. Mahabalesh Shetty, when we look at the post-mortem report which has come out, it talks about the brain missing. And
good evening, madam.
The doctor, the family doctor who spoke to us just some time back, has come to the conclusion, based on this post-mortem report, that there have been no traces of alcohol in the blood. Do you think this post-mortem report is strong enough for coming to that conclusion, or is Viscera report the most reliable test?
The Viscera report is the doctors will be waiting for the Viscera report. Basically, we can't comment on alcohol because it gives a different smell. We can just write as a fruity odor, and it's an absorption phase. We may not. So
fruity odor has to be mentioned in the post-mortem. That's what you're saying?
No, we don't mention it as alcohol. We will mention it as a fruity odor.
But that has not been mentioned in this report.
Yeah, we usually, if alcohol present or not present, we directly won't write it as an alcohol present because we are not the authority, because it has to be examined in the RFSL forensic science lab, and they will mention it as the alcohol percentage. The percentage of alcohol in the presence in the blood. The alcohol need not be present in the stomach because it gets absorbed. In the alcohol may be present in the intestine because most of the alcohol is absorbed in the GIT. So usually what happens is that within 1 hour the alcohol level goes to the peak and then it resorbs. So usually doctors don't write in the postmortem report alcohol present. We usually, if at all, if it is present, we write as a fruity odor.
Okay. And given the nature of postmortem report, which talks about the brain missing and other parts, which certainly talks about the gruesome nature of this entire incident, would you say, and I'm sure you would have seen several such reports in your long tenure as a forensic expert, would you say that this qualifies as a rarest of the rare case?
It's when it is an accident, it's like usually what has happened. The body has been dragged for more than 15 kilometers or 12 kilometers. Definitely, all the dress part, the whole skin, everything gets absorbed. There will be abrasion, deep abrasions. So beyond that, after again and again, even the muscles, even the bones may go off. And another thing is that once the accident happens, now we have to decide which is the primary impact. Whether it's a primary impact, or secondary injuries. We decide based on that. And the question of brain coming out is because it could be due to the secondary injuries. The body has been dragged on the road for a couple of minutes, a couple of hours. So it must have hit humps so many times. So the skull must have broken and the brain must have come out.
Okay, Dr. Vikram Singh, I'll give you the final words. You heard from the two politicians. My question is that accountability has to be fixed. The buck must stop somewhere. And with the politicians doing this kind of back and forth as expected, and Nidhi, a new version has come out, a new witness has come out in the public domain only yesterday. And then the theory is being built around it. Are we any way close to the truth? Because there is no CCTV footage which has come out till now talking about, which shows those 5 men inside the car. In that period in which the scooty crashes with the car, there's no immediate image of that either. We do not know who is on the pillion here. And if this girl reaches her home much before the accident, then where exactly is the truth here? Who is speaking the truth?
Maria, 3 quick points. Anjali died before a time, and the prime and the point that is germane to the discussion is how to get justice for Anjali.
Yes.
In that circumstances, the investigation has to be fail-proof, foolproof, and convincing and transparent, which unfortunately has not happened till now. My advice to Anuja ji would be that you have to be cruel to be kind, and there should be consequences for those who did not respond to the calls, who diluted the charges and added the charges in installments. Now, coming to your point, Maria, a skillful investigator has sufficient evidence. Whatever is available has sufficient evidence. I would not like to comment on the various aspects that may have happened, because for a skillful investigator, I'm sure Dr. Shetty and I, and including Anuja ji, also has a fair idea of what must have happened. Now it is just a bit of reverse engineering on the basis of what available evidence is and the call records matching. And now you will have what is known as some extrajudicial confession somewhere, and the story will go. But it will only happen if there is the inside will of the investigator to get to the truth and not beat about the bush.
All right. Dr. Vikram Singh, Anuja Kapoor, Abhinandita, and Dr. Mahabalesh Shetty, thank you so much for joining us. And earlier today, I spoke to Nishant, Nidhi's neighbor, and I began by asking this question. आप कितने टाइम से निधि को जानते हैं, उनके परिवार को जानते हैं?
वो जी मोहल्ले पड़ोस में अभी नई नई आई है। वो हम लोग पहले से रह रहे हैं यहाँ पर, तो जब आई थी बस जब से मतलब मोहल्ले पड़ोसी है, कभी बात होगी तो होगी, बस यही है। पड़ोसियों से बात होती तो कभी कभार होगी तो होगी, बाकी 2-3 महीने से रह रही हो शायद वो यहाँ पर।
सो निशांत, उस रात आपने क्या देखा?
उस रात को मैंने देखा कि वो आई, उनने आवाज मारी पहले अपनी मम्मी को गेट खुलवाने के लिए। तो मैंने पहले फोन में टाइम देखा कि क्या टाइम हो रहा है। जब हम बैठे हुए थे तो टाइम हो रहा था 2:30, करेक्ट 2:30 बज चुके थे, ठीक है। तो फिर जब गेट नहीं खुला था, उसकी मम्मी ने खोलना था, तो फिर उस टाइम में ना जब वो मतलब मेरे से बोल रही कि निशान तेरे पास टाइप सी चार्जर है, मैंने कहा हैगा मेरे पास। तो उन्होंने बोला मेरा फोन चार्जिंग पे लगा दे। तो हमारे पास आई तो उन्हें अपना फोन चार्जिंग लगवाने के लिए वो हमारे को देने के लिए आई थी। तो जब हमने देखा मतलब उसके यहाँ पर हल्की हल्की घिसट लगी हुई थी, वैसे छिलविल जाता है वैसे नॉर्मली, और यहाँ पर हाथ पर मतलब मुड़मुड़ा जाता है फ्रैक्चर उक्चर वैसे, और टांग पर। बस इतना देखा हमने पर उससे कुछ पूछा पाछा नहीं कि क्या हुआ, कैसे हुआ, क्यों हुआ, हमने कुछ नहीं पूछा उससे। हमने सिर्फ फोन चार्जिंग पे लगाया और मैं फोन चार्जिंग पे लगा के आके बाहर बैठा हूँ। इतने में उसके मैंने गेट खोल दिया। उन्होंने बोला मेरे को मेरा फोन ला के दे दे, मेरे को अर्जेंट किसी को कॉल करनी है बस।
आपने कहा कि वो 2 महीने से रह रही थी वहां पर, आपकी नेबर है। यूजुअली वो कितने बजे आती थी और उस दिन आपने क्या कुछ अलग देखा?
नहीं, वैसे कुछ अलग नहीं था। जैसे मैंने इसको कई बार देखा है, मतलब जैसे हर बार देखता था वैसे ही थी नॉर्मली, कुछ फर्क नहीं था, कुछ डिफरेंट नहीं था। जैसा हर बार देखता था वैसे ही थी, ना कोई डर चेहरे पे ना कोई कुछ, जैसे हर बार देखता था वैसे ही नॉर्मली।
कितनी चोट लगी थी निशांत उनको उस रात?
अगले दिन जब मतलब और किसी ने से, मैंने तो पूछा नहीं था कि क्या हुआ, क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ, मैंने कुछ नहीं पूछा उससे। और पड़ोसियों ने पूछ लिया था वो जब वो छत पर थी, ठीक है। तो जब पूछ लिया था पड़ोसियों ने तो फिर उसने बोला था कि मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ है स्कूटी पर से, बस और कुछ नहीं बताया।
All right, Nishant, thank you so much for joining us.